morning Year 4 and welcome to Friday's maths lesson. Now this is our final lesson of the week and also our final lesson of the term. So I just want to take some time now to thank every single one of you and your parents for helping you with your work. You've done a fantastic job and I'm so pleased with all of the work that's come through. You've worked so hard, so well done, and you deserve your rest for this half term. So we've just got this one lesson to go through and then that's it for this half term. You've got a week off and then we'll come back and start again. So well done everybody. Okay, so I'm going to start with our warm-up and we're going to get our brains into gear and we're going to use the same warm-up as yesterday. So I know that some people did use the Top Marks Fractions Matcha game that we did on yesterday's learning. So we're going to have another go at that today, and if you're new to the video then you can also have a look at that after the lesson as well. Okay. So this is the Fraction Matcher and you can find this on Top Marks website and you can match up your fractions just to keep you more familiar with your fractions. So we're going to go on this one and we'll start with level 1, but as you know you can level up and go all the way up to level 8 as well, so you can really develop your knowledge of fractions. So I'm just going to go through it for those of you that haven't seen it yet. We have to match up the fractions or the visual representations so that they are equivalent and they are the same. Okay, so let's start with this one. So this is 2/3, so we can put 2/3 here in that bowl there. And we need to find a visual representation which is the same as 2/3. So we're looking for a shape that has 3 parts, but only 2 of them are shaded. So have a look on my screen here. Can you see a shape that's got 3 parts, but it needs to have 2 which are shaded? Let's see if you can spot it. Okay, so I think it's in the top row here. I need a shape with 3 parts, so I know this one's got 3 parts, and this one's got 3 parts as well, but it needs to have 2 of those parts to be shaded. This one's only got 1 shaded, so it's going to be the blue shape here. So you can see out of the 3 parts, 2 of them are shaded, so we can put that in the other bowl, and then we check it to see if it's right. Wonderful, so we've got that one right. Let's do another one. So we press OK, and we move on to another one. Right, so let's go for this one. Now this says 1/1, and that actually means 1 whole. So there's only 1 part, but that 1 part is full. So can you see on my visual representations here, can you see a part which only has 1 big hole and it's filled in? Can you see it? Now I can see that this shape here has just got 1 part by itself, hasn't it? And it is also shaded, so let's check if we are right. Okay, wonderful. So now we've got 2 correct. Let's have a go at 1 more. Okay, so I want to have a look at 1/4. So I'll put 1/4 in my bowl. So I'm looking for a shape which has got 4 parts, but only 1 of them is shaded. Can you find that shape for me? So I need a shape that's got 4 parts and 1 of them shaded. Have a look at my visual representations on the board. Okay, so this one's got 4 parts, but that's got 3 shaded, so it's not that one. This one's got 4 parts and that's 3 shaded, so that's the same, so it's not that one. This one over here has got 4 parts and only 1 of them shaded, so that should be my matching equivalent fraction. Let's check. Wonderful. Okay, so we've matched up our fractions to our visual representations. Now before we stop, I just want to show you that you can actually match 2 visual representations and also earn points for that too. So here is a shape which has got 4 parts and 3 of them are shaded. So let's have a look. So this one we said was also the same. Let's check. Wonderful, so we can do that one. And we've got one here which is also the same. So it's got 3 parts, 1 of them is shaded, so they are both 1/3, 1/3. Excellent. And my last one, I've got 2 parts with one of them shaded, which is a half. And well done if you got that at home. So let's check that. Excellent. So we've got all of those correct. Wonderful. Right, so you can have a go at that at home if you want to. So that is called the fraction matcher, and you're looking for this here. So it's just a really good brain warm-up, or even you can do it after your learning today as well, and that'll just help you with your knowledge of finding equivalent fractions. Okay, so let's find out what we are doing for our final maths lesson of this term. Okay, so today we are going to be using visual representations similar to what we've been doing just with our fraction matcher, and we're going to be finding the amounts of it. So that is a really good warm-up activity for this lesson, because we're going to be using visual representations and seeing which ones are equivalent. Okay, so yesterday I did give you a true or false question, and well done for those children that did respond really quickly into my email address. That's fantastic work. Now let's just have a look and see whether I was true or whether I was false. So it says I have shaded in 2/6 of the stars. So I've got how many stars? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 stars, and I said I shaded in 2/6. Have I shaded in 2/6? Oh, actually, no. I haven't shaded in 2/6. I've shaded in 1, 2, 3, 4/6. So actually, my fraction was not 2/6. It was 4/6. So well done for those children who did get that at home. Okay, so moving on to today's learning, I've got 3 representations on the board which I want you to have a look at. And we are going to group them into fractions. And to do that, we do need to look at division. So let's have a look at this first one on the board here. I want to circle half of the caps. So I need to figure out how many caps have I got all together, and I'm dividing it by the denominator. Okay, so that's my denominator, the number at the bottom of my fraction. I need to figure out how many caps I've got, and then I'm going to divide it by 2. So let's see how many caps I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've got 8 caps. 8 divided by 2 is 4. Well done if you got that at home. So it is 4, and I need to circle 4 caps. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can circle those 4. You might have thought of circling a different group of 4, and that's also fine. But there, you can see that that is half of my caps. Okay, so let's move on to this one. Now it's asking me for a third, 1/3. So how many shoes have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 shoes, and I need to divide it by my denominator, don't I? So I'm doing 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So I'm going to circle 2 of my shoes, and that shows me that that's a third. Okay, so let's move on to my final one, and it's asking for 1/4 of all of these tennis balls. So I've got more to count. I need to find out the total and divide it by my denominator, which is 4. Now, if you've got a larger amount of objects, what you can do is cross them off, and that just makes sure that you get the right amount. So let's start by crossing them off, or just putting dots on them so I know which ones I've counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 is the amount that I've got, and I need to divide that number by the denominator, which is 4. So 20 divided by 4, if you can tell me that at home, that would be brilliant. So 20 divided by 4 is 5, and well done if you got that at home as well. So 20 divided by 4 is 5, so I need to circle 5 of the tennis balls, and that means I've circled 1/4 of the total amount. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is my 5. So there's my 1/4 of the tennis balls. Okay. So now I'm going to circle a fraction of the picture and we need to find out what that fraction is. So I've got some cats here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cats. Now I'm going to circle 1, 2, 3, 4 of those cats. What fraction of the picture is circled? Have a look. How am I going to work out what fraction of the picture is circled? So I've got 4 cats that are circled, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 cats which are not circled. So who could tell me what is the fraction that I am looking for? So out of the 2 groups, I've got 1 group which is circled. So a half of my cats are circled. So there is another way, it's the reverse way, to find out what fraction is circled by counting up the amount or seeing how many groups you have got. Okay, so that is going to help you with section 1 of your learning today. And now we're going to move on to what we call equivalent fractions. I'm going to show you this as well on the board. Okay, so when we say about equivalent fractions, it means that one fraction also means the same amount. And this here that you can see on my board is what we call a fraction wall. And we say a fraction wall because it looks like all of these little parts are making up that one big wall. Now, when you are using a fraction wall, it's really important to look closely to see which ones are the equivalent. Another word for equivalent is the same. So if we are looking for fractions which are the same amount, this is how I would look at it. So on my board you can see that I've got 8 parts here. Each of those little blocks are 1/8. Okay, so keep that in your head. Each one of these little green blocks are 1/8. Now underneath I've got another bar which is made up of quarters because each one of these 4 pieces is equivalent to 1/4. Now have a look what I do with my pen to find out the equivalent. So I've got my red pen and I'm going to just go like this, straight down here. Now if I'm looking at these blocks, I've got how many 8ths? How many of those green squares have I got? 2, haven't I? So 2/8 is equivalent to what? Which is a larger block at the bottom. What did we say that each one of these pink blocks were? Well, they were quarters, weren't they? And I've only got one of those blocks. So 2/8 is equivalent to 1/4. And in your books, you're going to have to find out what the equivalents are with the questions 2 and 3. So let's have a look at what it might appear like on your worksheet today. Okay, so you might have a bar which looks like this, and you need to maybe find out a fraction which has not got the amount of parts as your denominator. Let's see how many blocks this bar has. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So each of these blocks is 1/9, okay? But it might be asking you to find 1/3. Now that's going to be difficult because actually I've got 9 blocks, I haven't got 3, so what you've got to do is visualise splitting this bar into 3 equal sections. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks. So each one of these is 1/9. And what I need to do is split this into 3 equal blocks. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to put a line here. And then I'm going to have 1, 2, 3. Put a line here. And I've got 1, 2, 3. Now you can see how I've split this. I've got 3 blocks here. I've got the same amount of blocks in the middle. And I've also got the same amount of blocks at the end. And what I've done there is I've grouped them into equal sections. And you can also see the equivalents with a fraction wall if you want to help you with your learning today. So here is one section. There is my second section. And here is my third section. So now I have split that into 3 groups, haven't I? And if it's asking me to find 1/3, what I'm going to do is shade in one of those 3 blocks. So you can see that 1/3 is shown on here. Now originally we had, each section was split into 9 sections, so you need to split it into equal sections to find out how much you've got for your denominator. So if we wanted to find out what 1/3 was equivalent to, how many of those 3 blocks would I have? I've got 1, 2, 3. So that would be equivalent to 3 9ths. Okay, so I've got 3 over 9, and that is my equivalent fraction. Okay, so that is all of your learning for today to help you with your maths fractions. Before you leave, I do want to just give you one true or false question based on our learning from today. So my question is, my statement is 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8. Am I true today or am I false? You need to think about that at home, and if you want to send your responses into the Year 4 email address, you can do, and tell me whether 1/4 is equivalent to 2/8 or if that's false. Okay, good luck everybody, and well done for all of your super hard work over this half term. I know it's been difficult, but you've been working really, really hard, so well done everybody.